Some fans might be wondering what exactly went wrong with Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania and why critics felt as negatively towards the latest MCU outing as they do. Despite being one of the most important Marvel Cinematic Universe movies in recent years, when the first reactions came out, they were fairly lukewarm. Then the actual reviews hit, they were bad, and the movie's Rotten Tomatoes score plummeted, which now sits at a 48%. That makes this threequel and Eternals the worst rated Marvel Studios project to date. So let's go to an article from the Direct and run down what went wrong. To be fair, though, the audience has given it a very lovely score.
Yeah.
The audience is loving
But we all know that the critics know more. No,
well, but the audiences are the one that are going and paying the money, which is why it has had a fabulous...
No, technically, not all critics get in for free. There are people who are critics that pay to go to it too. That's
not the critics that we're talking about.
Okay,
so we don't need to get on that argument because it's not the critics we're talking about.
The fans still loving it means they're going to probably watch maybe even more than once, and they have,
as long as the money is talking, is like what you're saying. Yeah,
they've had a very good box office weekend.
Yeah,
but to be fair, more often than people realize, the critics and fans are usually in line. It's always when they're not in line where everybody makes a big deal about critics. And in this situation, I think the critics are wrong because I enjoyed it and I will go see it again. Were there problems with it? Yes, there was.
Yeah. Will I say it's like the best thing out there?
No, but was it better than Thor: Love and Thunder? Yes.
I disagree on that one.
What? You like Thor? There you go.
But was it a 48%? No.
Maybe 45. No,
I thought it had a lull. I even told Chris this. I was like, I felt like, I actually was like, God, how long have we been in here at one point in the movie?
You thought it was like, it could have been shorter.
Could have been shorter. Mm-hmm. And then it picked back up and I was right back in it. And it was great. I enjoyed the movie. Thought it was funny. I loved the villain. I liked the building of that concept, creating that dialogue for that. Mm-hmm. And I very much enjoyed it. I enjoyed going and seeing that in the movie theater.
But if there was anything that you could criticize on it, though, I think it was just too long.
I think for me, the criticism is going to be yeah, there it goes. I knew it was coming. There was a lull, which made me feel like there was parts of it that could have been cut out.
Right.
Like it was unnecessary viewings, unnecessary information that I was receiving in the movie because I was seeing it as information and not immersing myself in the movie.
Right. One of the things I remember thinking while we were watching it was why Michelle Pfeiffer's character felt like the need to be so secretive. I mean, you're pretty much like soldiers going into war. You know what's going on. You're playing this I need to protect my family card, but no, they're not prepared for what they're going to be facing.
Like, I'm actually married and I have a whole family.
I kept thinking that's what like I had
being like I don't want you to know what's going on over there.
But when they did the whole, and spoilers guys if you haven't seen it, but when they had the whole conversation about we were here for 30 years and I have needs, and he even admitted that he had needs too. So I was thinking it wasn't going to be a big deal, but
what was stopping her though, right? It wasn't worry for her family. It was shame.
What for her rescuing him. And he ruined that world, and she blamed herself for that. But she didn't know.
This is Marvel. How much crap and mess ups has all the Avengers and all of them done?
Everybody's done something. I mean, the Winter Soldier killed Tony's mom.
Bucky.
The truth is, how many of those characters were female that felt that guilt and shame? Women carry shame. Women carry guilt a little bit harsher on themselves than, in my experience, not all, and I'm sure this will get backlash, in my opinion, than a lot of men.
It's not that I don't understand why she didn't, never tell him when she came back.
Correct.
I just don't understand why when the shit started going down, why you can't just go, all right, look, guys, let me go ahead and lay this out for you because this is what happened. Why you had to keep going, I don't want to say.
Yeah.
I don't want to say.
Yeah, but
when they're all going,
something is going on. It's like, but we're already in here.
Yeah,
we're not prepared. You're gonna have us in a situation where we're not prepared because it's not like
when you came back and you're in the regular world. You're like, you know what? I think we can Just
Yeah.
not
She was
talk
treating
about it.
she was
That's
treating
fine.
Kang like Candyman. It's like, as long as you don't say his damn name 5 times,
She was.
you'll be
She
fine.
really was.
I'm like, that's not how this works.
I did not get why she was reacting that way so heavily once they were in the quantum realm
Yeah.
and once they were. She was under the impression that things have turned and have gone bad when she went and met her friend.
Right.
At that point, she really wasn't still wanting to explain any of
Yeah,
it.
like not mentioning it before they got trapped in there was one thing, and then telling Cassie to turn it off, the signal off, before they got
And
sucked
then
in there
it,
was
like,
one thing. But
doesn't let them behave appropriately either.
Correct.
You're telling
Correct.
them stop, don't do it, shh, shh, shh. But they're not getting why you're saying that because you haven't told them anything.
Yeah, they need the information to be able to know how to act, know how
Yeah.
to respond, know how to deal with that conflict, and they've got nothing to go off of. So, like, she's over there trying to, like, stick up for her mom and protect her, and she's trying to shoot people left and right, and, like, he's like, don't do it, don't do it.
It just gave me Kang Bang vibes the whole time. I'm like, you
They
weren't
never
you
showed
weren't
that they slept
ashamed.
together.
You weren't ashamed. Yeah, exactly.
The
I know,
only
and
one
I know they probably
The
didn't,
only one
but
she indicated
That was
that was Bill Murray. Yeah.
Bill Murray's
Murray.
character.
And
which
you know,
was
you weren't.
hilarious.
I mean, it was 30 years. It's not gonna matter. But obviously, Kang is into some real kinky stuff that she just did not want to relive.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that has to be it.
I don't think that's it.
The other thing that people were bringing up, because I'm trying to pull up the website and see if I can from the direct. Other thing that people had a problem with was MODOK. And
don't
spoilers if
watch
you
any of that, so.
haven't seen. It was just the fact that, you know, the guy who played that character isn't the original way that MODOK character was written, and that's fine. I mean, they made him the MODOK character, the guy from part 1, but the whole the don't be a dick. You are 100% loyal to Kang, but then one little speech from Cassie just made you just change your whole belief structure. You were totally devoted, and just because you were told to not be a dick.
I don't think that that's accurate, because when they were even when they were in
I
that
felt
restaurant,
like he was struggling the whole
Yeah.
movie with
keeping people
I do too. But he was also afraid of Kang, and for good. One person said that this isn't the real the MODOK that we know, because MODOK has even gone toe to toe with the likes of other, you know, more powerful beings. But what I thought of was, okay, you're trapped in the quantum realm with Kang, with his superior tech and the fact that he took over this whole space. You think Kang is going to give a little sidekick jokester character abilities that could rival him? No, he gave you enough power to do Kang's bidding. He's not gonna give you a weapon that could hurt him. You were a gesture.
Yeah.
That's all you were. That Kang gave you what he wanted to give you. Like his turn against Kang made no sense to
feel
me.
like critics are forgetting that while it is a Marvel movie and that they wanted it, I guess, to be really big, like our Infinity Wars and so forth, I think they forget that it's Paul Rudd, it's Ant-Man.
Yeah.
These are meant to be funny.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
are meant to be Guardians of the Galaxy level type humor. And so you got a lot of that. And I think critics were not wanting that.
Yeah.
They were wanting it to be way more serious and
No, I think
they were very disappointed. Like, it was it was too
I cracked
silly
up
for me.
Yeah,
And
I
was
cracked
like,
up at everything he
this
said.
is what
Oh, come on.
these are. And I thought it was funny, and I thought that's what it's supposed
Yeah.
to be.
when Kang said, I'm gonna, at least I got to be an Avenger. Come on. That was the
like,
funniest part.
I laughed so hard,
Like,
and they're all
I
like,
got to be an Avenger.
okay,
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
be a dick.
Just don't be a dick, though. So run down it real fast. I got the site pulled up here. If I do or if I don't. Some of the things that people are saying that they had problems with on the movie.
the volume.
I don't.
The
I
volume.
didn't
I don't know. I don't know what was wrong. For those
I
who
thought
don't
ours
know,
was
the
fine.
volume is Oh, no. The volume is a name for the studio that they recorded in.
Oh,
That's what they call
okay.
that big giant
Gotcha.
green screen
I was like,
room.
who's complaining about the
that's
volume.
that's the name of that. The fact that it felt too green screeny. Like other movies that like Avengers movies are all shot in those same but the special effects was done so well it felt more realistic than
I disagree with that statement
this-
100%.
I mean, but this was supposed to be a quantum realm
Yeah.
fantastical world.
It was a fantasy.
It was a ultra fantasy, or maybe they felt like it was. But
wasn't feeling
the
cheap by any.
I didn't think it felt cheap. I thought it was. Well, I mean, we saw it in the big screen too,
Yeah.
and so, like, I thought it was
thought it
great.
was good.
Yeah.
The special effects was another thing that people had a problem with. I kind of skipped over some. First things that they had a problem with were too much MCU exposition. Too much talking. You don't want people talking, explaining. I thought the exposition from Kang was great when he kept saying that speech about I will burn them out of time. I thought that was great. I needed to learn more.
Well, I
about what
thought it
was
was
going on.
necessary for some of
I think
that.
that's probably helpful for not everyone that's watching this.
It's
has
gonna know who
watched
Kang
every-
is.
And not everyone have
Correct.
watched the Disney's, like the Loki,
Yeah.
to understand what the heck this is. So I think it was necessary to put that in there.
Another complaint was no arcs. There's no. That is not true. Actually, I'll argue with this one. MODOK. had an arc.
Yeah, he did.
He started off
He
one way,
did.
and
He
MODOK.
did.
So it is true. It is true. I didn't
He
feel an
became
arc.
an Avenger.
Yeah,
y'all.
exactly.
That is
I
the
didn't-
biggest
I didn't
arc
feel
of
an
them
arc
all.
with all the other characters, but MODOK. MODOK had an arc, so I disagree with that. The volume, we already talked about that. Now we're. in
I
order.
also feel like Ant-Man had an arc. He was very he had a big distaste in his mouth about trying to participate in any sort of hero work.
Mm-hmm.
He was very anti getting involved, and throughout the movie he changed his tune.
They sold this movie as if this was going to be a thing where if you do this thing for Kang, he was going to give you the ability to go back in time and spend time with your daughter as a child again. And it was mentioned after I didn't notice it while we were watching it, but it was mentioned on another show that I watched. That plot wasn't. They put that they indicated that on the trailer, but that wasn't what happened in the. He kind of mentioned it. We're men that
mentioned
lost
it with
time,
her,
but
the mom.
Yeah.
They
Heavily.
they almost played it off as if Ant-Man was going to betray his own family to be brought into the dark side by Kang, and I was kind of looking for that.
Really?
I thought he was going to be tempted for a while maybe, and then become a hero at the end. That's what I thought was going to happen, but that's just me like writing the movie in my own head. Sloppy editing and lackluster choreography. What do you
I don't
agree?
like these people's opinions. These are all
I mean,
stupid.
it's subjective. People are entitled.
I
To their feelings.
I don't like these people's opinions.
They're entitled to their
I
feelings.
didn't say they weren't entitled to it. I said I didn't like it.
To kill a Kang. They don't like that. By the time the movie comes to a close, excuse me, burp. Spoilers for you guys who haven't seen it. By the time the movie comes to a close, it seems that the variant of Kang audiences have been following for the whole film has died. I don't believe he's dead.
I don't think so either.
No, and that's the whole point of showing all the other Kangs.
Correct.
Like,
Well, the other Kang said that he died. They said, "How does it feel that this guy was able to take him out and you weren't?"
He does say that, but
I don't think he's dead.
yeah, I'm gonna
I
be
think
the,
he's
Go ahead.
floating around somewhere.
now. Here's my next question, because I don't remember any of this. Do they have like a connection where they sense each other in any sort of way?
I don't think they sense each other. They just Kang is. I forgot what the word is called because Wanda is one of these things too. And there is a Wanda in every universe.
Okay.
She's I forgot what they called that. And guys, if you guys can remember in the chat room, what's that? What a Nexus being, I think is what it's called. Kang is also one of those too.
Okay.
There is a Kang. No matter what universe it is, there is a Kang somewhere. There is, and it seems like each one of these Kangs have all figured out how to time travel, and because of that, they have
Met each other.
They'd be able to.
yeah.
They're all able to meet each other because
Yeah.
if you change, if you change your timeline, then you go into another timeline, and then you're gonna meet.
Yeah.
You're gonna bump into another you. So
Yeah.
they know how to meet each other. It's not they don't seem to sense each other. They just know how to find each other, and fight each other, and kill
Yeah.
each other, or work
The
together.
stakes.
The stakes were. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like I felt like they advertised that it was about to be like a tempting Ant-Man to to try to get time back with his daughter, and it wasn't really about that.
No.
That's kind of, so the stakes weren't, but the stakes in an Ant-Man movie is just like Ant-Man, small. I mean, it's not something that can destroy the world. It's something that's going to destroy the family or the city or something like that. And even though Kang is a multiverse level threat, this all still happened in a pint-sized little quantum realm that nobody could see.
Correct.
So this was still technically in the vein of the stakes were big, because if Kang gets out, he's a threat.
Yeah. So there were stakes. I don't know. Again, I don't like these people's opinions.
Running down to so we already talked. We already talked about what worked.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that people are saying that didn't work about Ant-Man. If you guys have already seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, there's another thing. This should not have been called Ant-Man and the Wasp. The Wasp
Was barely
had little to no dialogue.
Yeah, I agree.
This was more of an Ant-Man and daughter movie.
Yeah.
I do not know why they shouldn't, and I feel like it's a disservice, because I thought they were going in the direction of making it more of an Ant-Man and Wasp thing. It was about family. Yeah. But it was really more about Ant-Man dealing with, his struggles with it in raising his daughter and losing all that time. So it should have just been called Ant-Man 3 or just Ant-Man Quantumania.
Guys, that's the end of this episode of The Rundown. Remember to like this video, become a subscriber, and share. This really does help us out. And click here or here. Thanks for watching.